What's good? 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 Welcome back to Boss Talks Podcast. Y'all know on this show anything goes. It's another one. It's another one. All right. So, guess let me kind of get this right here together so I can have that ready to go. So, throughout this this trial today, during the breaks, I will try to show different stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I tried finding a couple things, but y'all gotta understand. I've done when it comes to covering the stuff that has been going on with ozone. There's a ton of videos and a ton of hours, and I've tried even skimming through the whole, through the whole video to try to find what I'm looking for, and some stuff is, I'm not gonna say is impossible, but it was frustrating. I was really wanting to find where I called up to the Daytona Police Department where they mentioned that there was only 29 seconds of body cam footage only. Just certain shit. But other than that, yeah, let's get to it. I'm sure some of y'all have already been watching. So yeah, let's go ahead and watch it together. It's crazy the amount of witnesses that they have for Jason Rayner. Because when you think about it, there was really nobody. I say there was only one person besides, all right, Jason Rayner, Ozone, and then I say there's another cop there. But that's just from the evidence that I've, and I'm gonna show that today. Why I say there was two cops. But anyways, they have a ridiculous amount of witnesses, and it's simply because it's the cops that showed up after the fact, the cops that had anything to do with this case. So they're all bringing them up to talk about it, And so far, I've only known of Ozone's kid's mom to be up on the stand. Now, if I'm wrong, that's just because I have not watched it all. I haven't. I have not watched it all. I've watched as much as I can, Um, but yeah, y'all, it's a weekday. Like I wished I could have got here early this morning, but even right now, I really was like, man, I really, I want. Trust me, I want to do this, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck, I don't, I don't know. Should I wait a couple more hours? So I just said, fuck it, I'll go ahead and do it. As I mentioned yesterday, I didn't know for sure whether or not I would be on here as early as I was yesterday. What's good, Black Shalom? You say you missed it today. Did they ever come up with a reason why ozone was approached? Good question. I don't know. What's good, Sandra? But let's play this shit so we can hear it. Hopefully we learn some new shit, and hopefully they keep lying.
It was a very rural area. The properties, the houses that were on these properties were spread out, anywhere from 3 to 5 acre lots. It was not much city life, no major businesses that were in that area. Lots of woods, trees, just spread out, more of a country setting than anything.
Okay. And were there several agencies involved?
Yes, sir, there was.
Was the U.S. Marshals Service involved?
Yes, sir.
So there were U.S. Marshal personnel or agents there? How about the Daytona Beach Police Department? You were there, correct?
Yes, sir. I was.
Okay. How about the Georgia State Patrol? Had folks?
Yes, sir, they did.
And when you arrived on the property, did you participate in the initial apprehension of the defendant Othel Wallace?
No, sir. We stood by on the perimeter, out towards the front of the residence. Georgia State Patrol, their SWAT team, were tasked with searching the property and attempting to locate Othel Wallace.
Okay. Did there come a time when you came into contact, face to face, with the person that they had apprehended?
Yes, sir. They brought a subject who they believed was Othel Wallace down to the front of the property for me to make an ID on.
So you were the one that was going to ID?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you a general idea? Did you have some photographs of his appearance prior to going up there?
Yes, sir. I had approximately 2 days to become very familiar with the looks of this gentleman, knew what I was looking for, knew identifying marks that he had on his body that would assist in IDing him.
Okay. So when you saw the person that they had apprehended, did you notice anything different about his appearance?
Yes, sir. The gentleman we were looking for had long, thick dreads. When they brought him down to me, I noticed immediately the dreads had been cut. It actually appeared as if they were cut in a hurry because it was more of a messy haircut.
Okay, but what about, so how you going to identify him?
He had very similar facial features. I knew that Othel Wallace was involved in a motorcycle crash years ago. I knew he had a very distinct mark that was on his abdomen up to his chest. And I pulled up his shirt and identified him as well by that scar.
Okay, so that's how you identified him.
Yes, sir.
Do you notice whether or not that same individual is here in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Could you please describe where he's at and what he's wearing?
He's sitting at the table in front there. He's the youngest gentleman up there, I believe, with a light blue stripe tie.
When you came into contact with the defendant, did he say anything to you?
Objection, Your Honor. Can we go sidebar?
While they're doing this, I'm going to show a little picture. And this is right here where I'll say that because yeah, it's kind of hard to see just because it's a little blurred because I had to it's a video. This was the body cam footage, and I had to pause it. And over at the bottom left hand screen where you see like a flashlight, look, that's Ozone's car. The flashlight is shining right on him. But as you see to the right, there's a car right beside him, right? There's no flashlight on that. Look above the car. You could see a man standing there. Now, of course, when I play the video, it'll make it a lot more easier to notice that this isn't just, oh, I caught it at the right time, and
What did he say?
it looks like a person.
You
No,
already
I'm
know who
telling
I am.
you, when you
This is what
see
I'm
where
looking
it's
for.
at and you watch the video,
Save the officers here
you'll
for the
see
worst
that
side.
person moving.
This could have been a
I'm
long
telling you, there was another person there, and I really hope that they use that in court because
What was your question you
I simply asked him, would you like to speak to
it's
Detective
major.
Ozones in the case?
Damn it.
Your Honor, I do have a case I can share with you. Obviously, he was handcuffed. He was. We're not disputing that he was in custody, Your Honor. Our position is it was not custodial interrogation. This case is an 11th Circuit Court of Appeals case, Your Honor. It was the closest case I could find on point. This was a case where an individual was accused of murder, and a detective by the name of McKeechin with the Bay County Sheriff's Office had questioned him. And the issue became when he asked the guy where he asked the suspect while he was in custody, where were you on the night of the murder? And the defendant or the suspect said, I didn't mean to kill that man. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that that question was not custodial interrogation.
They're trying to say that Ozone said that he didn't mean to
And
kill him.
it's under head note 2 and 3.
No. No. This ain't what we're gonna do today. Motherfucker.
He was not read Miranda, Judge. And in fact, he had even said something about an attorney. Yes, sir. My apologies.
That way y'all can see a little more of the courtroom. There's so many different, like, well, I ain't gonna say so many. There's a few different videos out there, and a lot of them are different. Some of them are better than others. This one, I just, it's a basic. You get to see the courtroom, but some of them show different angles. They show, as you see, the camera angles directed straight at the judge, and then the person on the stand. It also has they have basically like it's like a Zoom call, but there's also a camera that is facing the audience. You know what I'm saying? So you get to see the whole fucking courtroom. So, um, you know, matter of fact, as I'm waiting here, um, uh, Oh, sorry. Sometimes this fucking happens. Like, see, it did it. I don't understand why the YouTube just pauses. I don't know if
You know
it's
who I am. You know what I'm capable of. That is voluntary and spontaneous.
like that was a fucking pause. Well, they was pausing.
Would like to speak to investigators when he hasn't been told what his rights are. That's concerning.
It may be concerning, Judge. With all due respect, I don't think it makes the statement the product of custodial interrogation. The only thing I need, Judge, is I think on the record, I need the court to acknowledge that he had identified the defendant.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. May I have just a moment, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I do have a few more questions.
What's good, Ellie? As I'll say, what's good to the motherfucking chat, and for those that are in here watching that doesn't comment. You know, I know a lot of people don't like commenting because they just don't want. I understand.
All rise for the jury.
Yes, sir, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. I want to talk to you for a minute about duty belts and tasers. Are you familiar with the Daytona Beach Police Department duty belts?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, so just kind of how they're set up. Typically, where would an officer put the gun? Where would the holster for the gun?
Your firearm is on your dominant or strong side. Whatever side you generally write with is the side that is your strong side.
So if you're right-handed, be on your right side, left-handed, left side?
Yes.
Okay. What about the taser holster? Is it on the same side or opposite?
No, so generally the taser's on the opposite side. It's worn in what's called a cross-drawn, which is
This is the
essentially
second day of trial.
call it the butt of the taser is facing forward as opposed to your firearm is facing backwards. You generally reach across with your strong hand to the taser in order to grab it. That way, your strong hand is always in control of the weapon in hand.
Trial, they said should be over by September 30th. Don't that sound crazy? This is a fucking death penalty case, and they're gonna have a fucking decision by the end of the month. It's fucking ridiculous. These aren't my words. These are the judge's words. Yeah, like as far as opening arguments, it started yesterday. The opening arguments, but like jury selection and all that started September 5th. So this is technically the second day. You know what I'm saying? Of opening arguments. Yeah, yeah. Trial, man. That's exhausting. I can't imagine. I'm so glad I've never been to trial. Trust and believe, I was like, fuck no, I'm taking my shit to trial. But of course, they always try to come up with some type of deal to make you to take a plea, you know. But if you're innocent, you're innocent. Go to trial. But there was certain shit that I like, you know, that I was like, man, I didn't do it, even though I had a little something going on with it, and it was like, well, that's cool. But if in that neighborhood where you say that you didn't beat that guy up, if there's a camera, if they have a camera on their house or anywhere, and they find out that you hit that guy, you're gonna be a felon. Because the plea deal was,
I
oh
hear it,
well,
Judge.
you sidekicked him, folded him up, but he was facing charges because they said his face,
Okay.
his nose and his face and shit was broke,
Yes, sir.
right?
Good afternoon.
I never hit him in
Would
the
you
face.
please tell us who you are?
My name is Brett Antoine,
Would you spell your last name, please?
Antwine.
And where do you work, sir?
Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
How long you been with ATF?
Since 2009.
Did you work in law enforcement prior to that time?
Yes, sir. Approximately 6 years in state law enforcement.
Whereabouts?
Sir? 6 years in the state of Georgia. Yes, sir.
Talk to us a little bit. Educate us about what you do and your duties and responsibilities at ATF.
I'm an investigator for the ATF. I investigate crimes against U.S. code that would be in the purview of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Violent crimes with firearms. And we do explosives and alcohol and tobacco investigations as well.
Okay. And where's your field office located?
Atlanta.
Okay. I want to draw to your attention to June of 2021. Okay? Did you become involved in an operation involving the apprehension of an individual by the name of Ozones?
Yes, sir.
And how did you become involved?
I was contacted by the U.S. Marshals Task Force.
This camera angle
and
sucks.
asked to come to the scene where they had taken Mr. Wallace into custody and review where he was taken at, see if there was any evidence that could be taken into custody or what needed to be done if there was evidence to take it into custody.
Was this on or about June 26, 2021?
Yes, sir, it was.
When you arrived at the property, was it day or night? Day or night?
It was nighttime, early in the morning.
Early in the morning? So it was dark.
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. So you got to the compound, then what'd you do?
Upon my arrival, I met with some of the U.S. Marshals Task Force guys, and they took me back to where Mr. Wallace was apprehended.
Okay, did you notice the tree house?
I did, yes, sir. That's where they took me.
Okay, and so you got taken to the tree house, then what?
I walked up the stairs and with a task force guy and looked through the door inside to get an idea of what we were looking at.
Did you see any weapons or firearms?
I observed what I believe to be firearms within the structure.
Okay, so then what'd you do, sir?
I advised the local task force guys that we needed to back out and get a search warrant to go ahead and search the structure and see if we could find anything of evidence and see if the firearms, what appeared to be firearms, were actually firearms.
Was a search warrant obtained?
It was obtained.
And who was the person who was going to execute that search warrant?
I wound up executing it.
Okay, and on the same day, June 26, 2021?
Yes, sir.
And where was the location that you searched?
The tree house itself is what it's on.
Talk to us about executing the search warrant. When you went back into the structure, once the search warrant was obtained, what did you do?
I took a video of the outside as best I could, being in the dark, and it's a tall set of stairs that were really rickety and shaky. So at the top of the stairs, I stood there and did my best to get a video of the surrounding. Again, I was using a flashlight to try to take the video. So
What were the stairs like?
they were shaky at best. It was kind of nervous walking up those stairs.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor.
May?
I want to show you what's been marked states I. Would you take a look at this?
Yes,
Do you recognize it?
yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
I did.
Sign it today?
Yes, sir.
And did you review the contents of it?
Yes, sir.
Here an accurate representation of what's contained herein?
Yes, sir.
And is what's contained in here in some video of the treehouse?
It is.
Your Honor, permission, well, first we move into evidence.
Your Honor, I would just renew the objection to that from the motion limine that you've already read.
I've already ruled that ruling stands. Item will be admitted as evidence. I'm assuming is redacted or not redacted?
It is not redacted.
Okay. But it complies with my ruling.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Admitted as evidence.
Please, sir.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Don't put it over there. It'll disappear.
Yeah, sorry, Judge.
Yeah. You may proceed.
Okay, we're going to roll it and then just kind of have you take a look at it. Could you stop? Stop and back it up. There you go. Right. Just want you, could you come down for just a moment, please?
May.
And if you'd stand over to the side so the jury can see, just want you to point out, you'd indicated that you'd seen some weapons or firearms. Could you point out weapons or firearms that you saw when you testified earlier?
Yes, sir. There was this item here was a firearm, was a rifle, and then the pictures down here is the end of the handle.
Okay, was the pistol a Glock 17?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and was the rifle an AK type rifle?
Yes, sir.
Did it have a banana clip?
Yes, sir. This right here would be the
Okie dokie.
Make sure you keep your voice up so they can hear.
Yes, the rifle would have a banana style magazine for it, so curved magazine, that would be it there. That would be the pistol grip, and then this is the, what should be, or it's actually turned out to be an arm brace, not a shoulder stock, but it's the brace is what it is. And then this would be the lower part of the lower on the pistol.
Okay, you can go back up to the stand.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just play it. Okay. Permission to approach again, Your Honor.
May?
I'd like to show you what's in Mark states JJ, for identification purposes.
Yes, sir.
You take it again to the deputy.
Yes, sir.
You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Fair and accurate representation?
Yes, sir.
What is that still shot at?
the bunk beds with the firearms on or under the mattress. Yes, sir.
At this time, Your Honor, I'd ask that we just still shot in death.
Any objection?
Just stay based on the prior.
Okay. Court's prior ruling stands. It'll be admitted as evidence.
Your Honor, permission to publish to the jury?
How are you going to do? Oh, yes, you may proceed.
All Hoopers post a clip of you.
Step back down again, please, so with the court's permission.
Yes.
I know it's a little blurry, Agent Antoine, or Special Agent Antoine, but could you just point out to the jury what you previously testified to regarding the weapons that you were testifying about?
Yes, sir. The rifle is under the mattress partially. Again, here's the banana style magazine. Hold ammunition and be inserted underneath the rifle. The pistol grip for the rifle, and then what would be considered either stock or actually is a forearm brace. And then this would be the pistol.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You can take that off. Now, I want to talk to you about what you found and what you took custody of,
Yes, sir.
okay? Did you take custody of a Glock 17 9mm pistol?
I did.
Do you recall, did you record a serial number as you took it?
I did.
And what was that serial number?
N is in November, S is in Sierra, M is in Motel, 913.
So NSM 913.
Correct.
Was the Glock loaded?
Yes, sir.
Okay, had a clip in it?
Did have a magazine in it, yes, sir.
Okay, did you clear that magazine or did you leave it like it was?
Left it like it was.
Okay. At some point in time, did you determine how many rounds?
I was determined there was 16 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber.
Now, what does that mean? 16 in the clip and 1 in the chamber. How is that? What does that mean?
The magazine would be the part of the firearm that holds the ammunition in a semi-automatic firearm. Once the ammunition is loaded into the magazine, then the magazine would be inserted into the firearm. And then in order to load the weapon to make it ready to fire, you would have to charge the weapon, or I think the common term would be to rack a weapon. So you would rack the slide, and that motion would push around off the top of the magazine into the chamber. And then at that point, there's 1 less round in the magazine while there's 1 round in the chamber, and makes the weapon ready to fire.
Okay, so you don't have to rack it and then pull the trigger. You just pull the trigger.
Once you've charged it once, then it's ready to go, as long as it doesn't malfunction.
Okay. Did you also find a black DeSantis holster?
Yes, sir.
Now, what did you do with those items? The Glock 17, the mag, the ammunition, and the holster. Ultimately, what did you do with those?
Ultimately, we took it into custody, into ATF custody, and then after that, we would have transferred it down to Daytona Beach.
Okay. Okay, and I'll get into a little bit more about your process there in a minute. Let's finish up with, did you find ammunition?
Yes, sir.
Up there? Several containers of ammunition?
Yes, sir.
And approximately, or a minimum of how many rounds?
We determined it'd be more in excess of 500 rounds.
Did you take the AK type long gun did you seize that as well?
We did, yes, sir.
Okay, now did you also provide that to Daytona Beach PD?
Did not.
That's still at ATF custody?
Correct, it is, yes, sir.
Okay. Were there any rounds for the AK?
Yes, sir, there was rounds in the magazine.
Okay. And you said it was a banana clip?
Yes, sir.
How many, typically, that particular clip, do you know how many rounds it's capable of holding?
I believe that was a 30-round magazine.
Okay.
They call that a banana clip? I don't call it a banana clip. A 30 round? The fuck?
permission to approach the witness, Your
I
Honor,
don't
with
care
an
if it
exhibit.
curves or not.
I think it's behind
Oh,
you.
banana clipped and big long motherfuckers.
Okay. Before that, Your Honor, apparently I stated the wrong, I guess, exhibit number. What did I say it was, Jason?
You had said it was, I think, GG, but it's BBB.
BBB instead of GG, Your Honor. My apologies.
Okay.
And it's Exhibit 25 is introduced into evidence.
But it's already in evidence?
Yes, sir.
You kept it straight? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Stupid fucking shit, boy.
Okay.
Now you want to approach the witness? Oh,
Yes, sir, we did. Yes, sir. Thank you.
I see Ozone fine.
Could you,
Got
Judge,
that
with your permission, probably be easier if
way.
you came down to the front
okay.
with this?
Honeycomb shit.
I want to show you what's been marked as stated Exhibit LL. For identification purposes. I'm going to try to send this. Get it up there. Now, would you take your time and take a look at this exhibit and tell me if you recognize it?
Yes, sir, I recognize the firearm.
And how do you recognize it?
The serial number is one and the same, NSM 913.
Okay, are there two serial numbers on this gun?
There's one on the slide, and then there's one on the roll receiver, which actually
Are they both the same?
NSM 913.
What's good, Keo?
Okay. Now, when you took this, you can go back. Now, let's finish this. What about the other part of the exhibit? How about this? Do you recognize that?
The ammunition which was recovered from the firearm was used from these three back.
Okay. Okay, you go back. I mean, look at your exhibit. Okay. When you took possession of the firearm,
Yes, sir.
what this exhibit, what you just said, was it your custody and control from the time you and your partner's custody and control from the time you took it until you took it to the ATF secure location?
Yes, sir, it was.
And then what did you do there?
We logged it into evidence and then turned it over to the vault custodians who locked it into the ATF vault.
Do you have access to that vault?
No, so we've got custodians that control the access, and we turn our evidence over to those custodians, and those custodians actually physically put it into the vault, and whatever location they choose it goes in.
Did you take it back out at some point in time?
We did,
And what, for what purpose?
to take it to Daytona Beach Police Department.
And did you do that?
Yes, sir, we did.
You turned it over to the folks at the Daytona Beach Police Department?
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay. And was, from the time you took it out of the evidence locker until the time you turned it over to Daytona Beach PD, was it within you and your partner's custody?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I'd ask to move the exhibit into evidence.
Any objection? Without objection, admitted as evidence.
Your Honor, may I publish it?
May proceed. If you don't mind showing, the one George got a creak in her neck because she's... All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You got it? Permission to approach again, Your Honor.
You may.
Going to show you what's been marked State's Exhibit K for identification purposes. Would you take a look at it? Yes, sir. And how do you reckon?
Pictures from the treehouse.
Of the day that you executed the search warrant?
Yes, sir.
Were these pictures before or after the search warrant was executed?
I believe they were before.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Under the witness.
All right, cross-examination.
Oh, yeah, forget something. Your Honor, I'm sorry, there's one other exhibit I failed to show.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Great.
Appreciate that, Young.
Gonna approach one more time and show you what's been marked as State Exhibit AAA for identification purposes. Deposit Exhibit 3 photographs, which take a look at. You recognize them?
Yes, sir.
And how do you recognize them?
Those are photographs of the AK variant that was recovered from the treehouse.
Up in Spellville?
Yes, sir.
When you executed the search warrant?
Yes, sir.
And are these still in this is in the custody of ATF?
Correct, it is. It's still in our vault.
Is that where the pictures were taken?
They are, or they were, I'm sorry.
Fair and accurate representations?
Yes, sir.
Move into evidence, Your Honor.
The objection?
Your Honor, based on the stipulation, you would not object. Would you like to?
We have a stipulation as well, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on.
Is this, I'm sorry, can I see it?
Man, I'm just as far as the Ozones defense, we, most people, assume they're not gonna put Ozone up on the stand or whatever, but his attorneys will speak for him or whatever. But I'm just so curious what they're gonna say happened or what basically like Ozone's point of view. That's like really the main thing that I want to hear. 7.62s.
That photograph, sir.
Photograph of 7.62 by 39 millimeter ammunition. It's AK ammunition.
Ammunition that would fit into the firearm, the AK that you seized?
Yes, sir.
Could we go to the next?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like
Sir,
those.
Are these the ones that you took out of the
that is
tree?
the ammunition I took from that.
They're dirtier, but they still
And
do
what's
the
that a
job.
picture of?
That's a picture of the firearm.
It's a nice gun, y'all.
That you seized from the treehouse?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. Same.
It's a real
Yes, sir.
nice
Same,
gun. Not just a
rifle,
nice gun. It's a
long
real
gun.
nice gun.
What's
And
that on
black.
top of?
That's the magazine that would have held the ammunition. We take them out to make the firearm safe before we store them, and then we will zip tie the magazine to the firearm itself and separate the ammunition from it.
Real talk.
And that's the.
He should have had
the
more
land
mags.
You testified would hold 30 rounds?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Anybody out there with guns,
All right, any cross-examination?
stack up on mags. Y'all don't understand how
No.
important that is. Study how the military moves. That's the right way. No less than 15 mags in a real situation. Real situation. You getting shot at with same AKs, ARs, whatever. Anything like that. Like, I'm talking about 30, 40 round mag. No less than
Proceed.
15 of them.
Good afternoon, Special Agent.
And it still ain't enough.
Now, when you first went up, you looked at the tree house just to see what you had, and then after that, you decided to go back and get a search warrant based on the items that you saw, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right now, when you were up at the tree house, I'm sure you were looking around, you had a good view of everything that was down below. You know, like where the barn was and where you probably drove in from.
No, outside the scope.
So, I'm
At
sorry.
the time I initially got there, no, sir, it was dark.
Okay. When you did the search warrant, was it light out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you went up the second time and you videotaped it, or did you videotape it at night
I videoed it when it was dark. Yes.
when it was dark? And then when you got the search warrant, you went up during the day, and then you were able to see your surroundings, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you're standing on that little porch area before you enter and you look around, you can see the barn down there. You can probably see the main house, all that sort of stuff.
The main house would have been to my back looking into the tree house. I don't recall a barn. I do recall a Connex container to my left
Okay.
and some woods to my right and to the, what would have been on the back side of the tree house.
Well, when you're on the porch area, would you agree that you're significantly higher than the ground level?
Absolutely.
Okay, and that kind of gives you a vantage point when you're standing up there over anybody that might be around you? Or it could?
I'm not sure what you're asking me as to
Well-
what it could. I can tell you what I saw.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you're up there, and then when you searched, you found an assortment of ammunition, right?
Yes, sir.
How many total rounds?
I didn't do a total round count because there were so many and it was that early in the morning.
Okay. And you found the AK-style rifle,
Yes, sir.
and that had that banana magazine in it?
Yes, sir.
And there were 30 rounds in it, but would it hold more than 30 rounds?
I don't recall. They do make banana style magazines that do hold more rounds, but I don't recall what the actual number, because most of these things you actually have to fill them to find out if they're going to hold one more than what it says or one less than what it says. So I didn't test that. No, sir.
And that AK-style rifle, that's a semi-automatic, is it?
Yes, sir.
Do a lot of damage with that, can you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you found the Glock 17,
Yes, sir.
and that was fully loaded?
It wasn't fully loaded.
Okay. Were there other 9mm shells in the treehouse?
I don't recall at this time what all calibers were there and what were not.
Okay. All right. But I guess my point is Mr. Wallace, being in that treehouse, was somewhat heavily armored, wasn't he not?
There was ammunition and there were multiple firearms, yes, sir.
I don't have anything else, Your Honor.
Anything else? May the witness be excused from the stand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you release from the stand.
I'm gonna keep it real. Those questions that he just asked,
Can you shut down?
the witness or whatever on the stand, I mean, maybe they have some type of, I mean, I don't know, but those questions to me, I don't know where they were really trying to get at that, because I feel like, I mean, all that shit was definitely common sense. So I don't know if maybe that specific witness, maybe he might have said something in the past and it was just trying to like mind fuck him on some shit. I don't know, but I was kind of thinking, okay, where's he going with this? And then didn't go nowhere with it. Kind of stupid.
Uh, 145, Judge.
Type of dumb shit is that? Mm. I guess let me do this real quick. Um, I'm curious what's going on. They just said all rise, so I hope they're not taking like a long recess or whatever. Let me do this. All right. So what I'm gonna do is unless it like pops back up on whatever. And a lot. What I'm gonna try doing is find the video. I can't fucking believe that basically I hate when that happens. Fucking hate it. When I lose train of thought. I'm gonna have to put these in like a file because to find this shit that I'm looking for, I literally scroll back. I scroll down so fucking far. Cause I'm the type. I actually got this from a few people in my family, like my one of my grandmas. She's like super into pictures. When I was little, it used to get on my nerves. I did not. I guess that is because I didn't understand. Um, but it was like everything was about. All right, come on, let's take some pictures. Let's take. Come on, let me take pictures. And these was the days that you had to click and then wind the thing to get it started again, and you only have like 30 pictures that you could take, and then you got to go get the pictures printed off. Yeah, them days. Not like today where you can just take a fucking your phone and click and then save it on a drive or cloud or whatever. Like, but see even though technically the pictures of stuff that we have on our phones and stuff, we can take it to Walmart or wherever and get that printed off in actual pictures. I can say like the internet at any time can fuck up, and if all your pictures is on the internet, you're fucked. People that have pictures all on Facebook, if you don't have a way for them you don't have them backed up somewhere, you should think about that. There's pictures, y'all, that I'll never get back. That I'm talking about like prom, uh, my high school basketball pictures. I just Facebook was y'all know how it is. It was even more popping then, in my opinion, because I really don't fuck with Facebook much. But uh, yeah, I had so many fucking pictures on there, and I just thought, oh yeah, I can just put it on my Facebook and it'll save there. Well, once your fucking Facebook gets locked up, and they pretty much because I thought I was in Facebook jail. They didn't even put me in Facebook jail. They just straight took my account. Don't know why. Never was given an explanation. But learn from what I went through. Like, if I'm telling you, even pictures of my daughter. Like, there's so many baby pictures that I wish I still had. Um, This is getting on my nerves. I'm gonna have to save this shit to another file or something because I'm still scrolling. Whose dad testified? Damn, Ozone's dad. He well, damn, I'm gonna have to find that because what did he talk about? That's wild. Yeah, if anyone wants to hit the link, y'all can. See, I'm gonna be real. I had thought like where he had went to at the beginning of all this, people were saying that Ozone went to his dad's. That was his dad's property or whatever. Um, you know, of course, like because they've talked about, but they've from what I heard today, I've heard them mention the Black Panther Party. Right. I haven't heard them mention NFAC, but they have before, like on the news and shit like that. Because first, he had two patches on his body armor, bulletproof vest, whatever you want to call it, and one of the patches was NFAC, and the other one was New Black Panther Party. So at first they was like, oh, he's you know, like either an NFAC member or he has ties with the NFAC. So it was like they were trying to kind of kill two birds with one stone by saying, oh, okay, well, we can connect him with the NFAC, right? But then I guess they probably looked into it a little more and was like, oh, wait, we already got we got uh GMJ in custody, because you gotta understand Ozone was arrested before GMJ, right? Because there was a lot of people that was wanting GMJ to speak out for Ozone, to try to help raise money for Ozone. You know, a lot of just because I mean he wasn't in the NFAC. Ozone was not in the NFAC when all that happened. In June 23rd, 2021. He was not in the NFAC. But a lot of people felt like, okay, well, Ozone still was basically there for you and there for the NFAC and shit like that. So, yeah. But I'm not sure exactly the date that GMJ was arrested or whatever. But I know it was after Ozone. And I feel like at first it was like, oh, well, we can, do this. And maybe that did help them arrest GMJ, because it was like, okay, look, boom, this guy, he has the NFAC patch on his body armor, and then boom, GMJ ends up getting arrested, right? So then boom, randomly they do another video like later, like months later, and then say, so we now know that Ozone has ties with the new Black Panther Party. They knew that from the get-go. I can't, they showed a picture. I can't remember if the patches was by each other. It doesn't matter if one was on this side and one was on this side, or one was up here and one was down here. I'm sure they looked at everything that was on that fucking body armor, right? Everything, every patch, because when it comes to those certain patches mean shit. Patches can mean rank, it could mean affiliation or whatever, right? So yeah, they switched it to the new Black Panther Party, and I'm like, oh, I know what the fuck they're doing. Now that they've already got GMJ arrested, they was thinking, oh, well, shit. Now that their leader is arrested, they're not moving how they was moving. So, yeah, I'm sure they was like, well, shit, basically killed three birds with one stone. Let's go out to the new Black Panther Party, which I don't think they did. All right, y'all. I think it started back up.
Otho Wallace had, on previous occasions, possessed the assault-style weapon with a banana clip that was found in the treehouse in Snellville, Georgia. Otho Wallace was familiar with using the firearm. Thank you. State, you may call your next witness.
There's nothing wrong with knowing how to shoot or take apart an AK-47 or any gun. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're allowed to have it. Shit, that's the problem with America. Like, they sell guns or allowed to have guns, but then when you know how to use it, they try to use that against you. What the fuck? You should want somebody to know how to properly use that firearm. They're gonna own it. That's the rules. You better know how to use the motherfucker or get rid of it. You're gonna hurt yourself or someone else.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think the last thing we talked about in your earlier testimony was,
Have him repeat his name.
yes, can you please repeat your name?
Dale Detter.
Detective Detter, I think the last thing we talked about earlier today was about going back to the crime scene on the 24th.
Yes, sir.
What was your next involvement in this case?
On June 30th.
What did you do on, what was the first thing you did on June 30th?
June 30th, when I got into work, there had been a firearm. It was relayed to us from ATF out of Atlanta. It was my duty to take that firearm and tag it into evidence.
And then what did you do with it from there? Did you actually take it somewhere that day?
Yes, sir. Once it was tagged in, I immediately checked it back out and transported it to FDLE in Orlando.
What was the second thing you did on the 30th?
We had obtained a search warrant to search the suspect vehicle over in Alachua County.
Was this the defendant's vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Where was that search conducted, sir?
At the Alachua County Sheriff's Office in their crime scene garage.
And so was your search warrant from an Alachua County or circuit judge over there?
I believe so, yes, sir.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may. Yes.
I'm trying to hear some shit that is like jaw dropping, y'all. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it helps Ozone. There's a few
Okay.
things
Did you remember the
that,
number?
that I'm like, oh no, I did not expect this shit.
Do you think the tag fell off of it?
It did. States AA. They were moving states AA identification. That's now states.
That's evidence?
State 31, yes, Your Honor.
Was it admitted without it?
We would
Objection?
move it into evidence.
Okay, any objection? No objection. Okay, admitted as evidence.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay,
Permission to publish?
may proceed.
May the witness step down in case I need to point some things
Yes,
out?
sir, just put them back over here.
Now, when you search, process it like a crime scene, a physical crime scene, do you photograph it first?
Yes.
Before actually conducting the search?
Correct.
Conducting the search.
Correct.
What are you looking at here in photograph A?
This will be the vehicle in the crime scene garage, looking in the front passenger side of the vehicle.
As you already said, this is not Daytona's crime scene garage, correct?
Correct. Last
think we're just gonna kind of take photographs all the way around the vehicle. Photograph B.
The vehicle from the front, and of course the driver's side of the vehicle.
Going to photograph C. What are we looking at here?
Driver's side of the vehicle.
So again, you're just wrapping around the vehicle.
Yes, sir. And then that will be the rear of the vehicle.
With the tag, the California tag on the rear.
Correct.
Photograph E.
This will be the front driver's compartment. This will be in the driver's door pocket.
The driver's door pocket of the vehicle on the driver's side.
Correct. So, center console, items in the center console.
And what is there? Is this a Red Bull energy drink?
Yes, sir. Always uses an ashtray.
Some Swishers and Swishers, those Swisher sweets.
Looks like, and then I think that's a nice hard lemonade.
Next photograph.
This would be the rear driver's compartment.
Next photograph, sir.
This is the same rear driver's compartment, large knife or machete on the forward.
Yeah, nothing wrong with staying
What are we
dangerous.
looking at in this photograph, sir?
This would be the rear hatchback area of the vehicle, with some items in the hatchback.
What do these items appear to be associated with?
This appeared to, I believe, was a tent. There was a tarp, a cooler. I think this is a water jug and a camping chair.
Is this another, what are we looking at here?
This
Sorry.
This is actually a steel, what we call strike plate, and then some ballistic panels.
And then behind it, is that the tent you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You can return to the witness stand. When you processed that Honda vehicle, did you look for any blood on the exterior of the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
How did you go about doing that?
We used a chemical called luminol. Blue Star is the name of it. And it's 2 tablets mixed with water. And when sprayed, it reacts with the iron and blood, and it will glow or luminesce.
And do you use that as a tool to lead you in the direction of areas that should swab?
Correct.
And did you use that on this vehicle?
We did.
Did you locate any areas that it luminesced that you ended up swabbing?
There were 3 areas that we located.
And how do you go about collecting those swabs?
When we use a swab, it's basically a large Q-tip, one end with a cotton swab on it. Since we were using a chemical spray, it would have already been wet. The area that was luminesced, we took the swab and swabbed that area that luminesced, and then placed it into a paper, or I guess cardboard, little small box for the swabs, and then placed in a packaging envelope.
And were these swabs later put into evidence at the Daytona Beach Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And to your knowledge, were they sent to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
Yes, sir.
And I may approach the witness with these.
You may.
So states B. You recognize the exterior of that package?
I would love to know exactly the exact spot of where
This is
the
a
blood
swab
was
of possible
found.
blood in
That
the
matters.
on the rear of the vehicle where it's got the HRV.
Because I know getting shot,
area that luminesced.
blood can splatter, but the rear of the vehicle is in the front of the vehicle. How's there no blood in the front?
Yes, sir.
Right there on the fucking door inside the car. It's
Any
just,
objection? Without objection, admitted as evidence.
This is another swab of an area that luminesced. It was on the rear of the hatchback where the HRV is. Just underneath that is the area that I swabbed.
on the hatchback? How in the fuck could blood be on the hatchback? They were on the side of the fucking car.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Any objection?
No objection, man.
Without objection, admitted as evidence.
Next state's DD. What does that item contain?
This is a swab of possible blood that luminesced on the driver's side rear tire on the sidewall.
Is the exterior packaging in the same or similar condition?
Yes, sir.
Altered or with?
Doesn't-
We can see other than the ambulatory.
Doesn't appear so.
Which state's DD and evidence is the next number.
I'm starting to think that
Without
they took
objection,
some of the
admitted as
blood,
evidence.
a little scoop, and blinked it on that motherfucker. Like, how the fuck did it be on the back of the fucking car? And see, all right, so like that's what I'm saying. No gun, like yeah, no gun, no case. But
May the witness step
they're
down.
trying to say the Glock 17 was the gun. I know people can say all they want with forensic
Is this a good
shit.
photograph to use?
For two of the swabs, yes, sir.
The
If you could point out where you
when
collected
the
two of those.
primer is
swabs.
hit
On the H.
by the
kind of more towards the left side
you
of
know
the
the
H is-
when it's hit.
And then underneath.
I remember they used to say there's a specific
Just a better photo for the last swab.
design that every gun has, so where when they zoom in on the primer, they can see a certain shape that
And again,
gun
that's
will
using
give
the,
off.
the chemical you guys
But-
often use. Thank you.
That's more bullshit. Cause you can change all that shit. You could put a slide on a whole different gun, or you know, take the handle part and switch the slides, all that shit.
A live round from the vehicle as well?
Yes, sir.
And where was that in the vehicle?
The front passenger seat on the rear pocket in the seat, at the bottom of the pocket.
And was it a rifle round?
Yes, sir.
That first witness, Your Honor?
May?
So that's the state's hat for identification. You recognize the exterior packaging?
Yes, sir.
And what does that contain?
This will be the live round that was found in the pocket of the front passenger seat.
I don't believe the defense going to have objection to something like that, so I really haven't.
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Without objection, admitted as evidence.
Okay, just for the jury, what's a live round?
An unfired round. It's basically a bullet. Once you purchase them from the store, they come as a live round until it's fired in a lead projectiles.
Did you also collect some targets from the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean, targets?
They're, when you go out for target practice, if you will, some people purchase.
Practice shooting, just say that.
In place wherever they're shooting at and use them for target practice.
Have these targets been used yet, or were they unused, or both?
Unused.
Unused? May I approach the
Nothing
witness?
wrong with that.
May?
Does the state's EE for identification? State's EE for identification. Do you recognize the exterior packages?
Yes, sir.
What does that item contain?
A pack of the paper shooting targets.
Has the packaging been disturbed in any way since you packaged it?
No, sir.
Or at this time, the state's EE and the evidence is the next number?
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, admitted as evidence.
And Detective, sometime later, I believe in March of 2023, did you collect a bloodstain card?
Yes, sir.
Where did you collect that card from?
From the medical examiner's office.
In Volusia County?
Yes, sir.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may?
State's UU for identification. You recognize the exterior packaging?
Yes, sir.
Is there FDA tape on that one as well?
There is.
Is the exterior packaging other than the FDA tape appear to be alternate?
No, sir.
No objection.
Admitted as evidence.
Will states this you for application. I have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'll tender the witness, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Any cross? Thank you. You may step down. Is the witness still under subpoena?
No, Your Honor, he can be excused.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you're released from the subpoena. State, call your next witness.
State would recall Dave Denardi.
Okay, the witness has been sworn previously. You're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Could you please state your name again, Detective?
David Denardi.
Thank you, sir. We had left off in late June of 2021. On June 30th of 2021, did you also participate in the search of Othel Wallace's vehicle in Alachua County?
Yes, sir.
And were you a part of drafting the search warrant for that vehicle?
Yes.
After the search of that vehicle, did you draft several search warrants on July 2nd of 2021, on or about July 2nd of 2021?
Yes, I did.
Did this include a search warrant related to a phone number you believe to be Othel Wallace's?
Yes.
And who did you get that phone number from?
A phone number came from Taisha Lewis.
And what was that number, sir?
Phone number was 954-928-399.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Why do you do a search warrant to a phone company for phone records? What are you hoping to get?
Want to be Andrew Tate?
Hoping to get several things, to include who the person is in communication with via phone calls, as well as who they're communicating with via text message. But and then also, in addition, you can get location data from someone's cell phone records.
So the location data is actually embedded in the records from the cell phone company?
Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, can you use that data then to map the approximate location of that cellular device?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, pursuant to the pre-filed business records, sir, now move states MM to evidence as the next numbered exhibit.
Any objection? No objection. Okay, admitted as evidence.
Number 38, Madam Clerk. And of course, did you receive those records from the phone company?
Yes, I did.
And did you review some of those phone records?
Yes, I did.
And in regard to the number that you listed earlier, who was the subscriber for those phone records?
Othel Wallace.
Did you also do a search warrant for both an Instagram account and a Facebook account related to the defendant, Othel Wallace?
Yes, I did.
Was that for the same account we discussed earlier, RBG Vibes for Instagram?
Yes.
And did you receive a response to your search warrant from both those companies? Well, I guess it's the same company, but from both those social media accounts?
Yes.
Are those large files that you get back from Facebook and Instagram?
Yes, they are.
Fair to say thousands of pages?
Yes.
Going to July 15th. Did you go to Halifax Hospital on July 15th, sir?
Yes, I did.
Was Jason Rayner still being treated at that hospital?
Yes, he was.
When you were at that hospital, did any doctors provide you anything?
Yes.
Which doctor?
Dr. Prince.
What did Dr. Prince give you, sir?
Dr. Prince gave me a fragment of a projectile that was removed from Officer Rayner's head.
And what type of container was it in?
It was in like a plastic vial.
And where did you take that item?
I took it back to the police department where I submitted it to property and evidence.
I approach the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
State's ID QQ. Do you recognize the container on that board as well as the item in the plastic bag?
Yes.
And what is it?
This is the fragment of the projectile that Dr. Prince removed from Officer Rayner, and then the bottom is the container that was turned over.
Are both in the same or substantially similar condition as when Dr. Prince turned them over?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, move state evidence is the next number exhibit.
The objection? Without into evidence. How are you going to do that? Just stand in front?
Just hold it for us, sir.
Unless you want to pass it down.
I want to jump ahead now to July 19th. Did you and other investigators execute a court order, sir?
Yes.
What was that court order for?
That court order was to obtain a sample of genetic and biological material from Othel Wallace.
And did you execute that court order on Othel Wallace?
Yes, sir.
Did you collect the buccal swabs from him?
Yes.
How do you go about collecting buccal swabs?
Buccal swabs come in sterile packaging. It also comes with a little box. Standard procedure. What I did or would have done that day was put gloves on, and then they look like giant Q-tips. Have Othel Wallace open up his mouth and then swab both sides of his cheek with each of the swabs, and then put them in the box. Clearly mark it with his name on it. And then same thing, package it up and submit it to property and evidence.
Do you collect these swabs in order to send them to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
Yes.
Is it something you've done many times in your career?
Yes, sir.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
It states N and Nancy. Just ask if you recognize the exterior package.
Yes.
What does that item contain?
This contains the buccal swab that was obtained from Othel Wallace on July 2021.
And other than tape from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, has been involved with it as well?
No, it has not.
Your Honor, move states N and evidence is the next number of states exhibit.
Any objection? Without objection, admitted.
Detective, on August 17th of 2021, did you get some notification from Halifax Hospital?
Yes.
What was that notification?
That Officer Rayner had passed away from the gunshot wound that he sustained at the hands of Othel Wallace.
And as the lead detective, was an autopsy performed at the Office of the Medical Examiner?
Yes, it was.
Did they relay to you, I'm not going to go into them, but did they relay to you their findings from the autopsy?
Yes, they did.
As a result of that, what did you do?
As a result of that, I completed another charge and affidavit charging Othel Wallace with murder instead of attempted murder.
Thank you, sir. May I have 1 moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I'll tender the witness, Your Honor.
Any cross? Okay. Thank you. May the witness be excused. State.
Subject to recall, Your Honor.
Okay, you're still under subpoena. You may step down.
Thank you, sir.
Are we done for the day?
Yes, Your Honor, that's all the witnesses we have.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to adjourn early today. We're going to return tomorrow. I have spoken to the lawyers and everything appears to be on track. The indication you sometime this week for deliberations and your work. So I'll release you until tomorrow at 9 a.m. again, once again, reminding you not to discuss the case with anyone.
All rise.
Not to let anybody tell you anything, or read anything about it, or follow any of the news accounts of the case. Excuse. All rise, Missouri. All right, thank you very much. You have a seat. Let's talk a little bit about planning here. Where do we stand as far as the plan for the rest of the week?
Yes, sir. I believe that we should be done by tomorrow afternoon or Thursday morning, early Thursday morning. We should be done then.
Okay. I need to address Mr. Wallace at this time.
All right, Mr. Wallace, can you have a seat, man? Mr. Wallace, we're approaching the time when the state is going to finish their presentation of the case in chief, at which time you will have an opportunity to present the case or testify. Learning an answer from you today, we want to give you stuff to think about. It is your right to testify in this trial. You heard me say that in various elections, all of the right to remain silent, and I remind yours, but the process that they can't be silent against you, won't satisfy you, that they will respect your constitutional right to remain silent and you choose to do so. So it is your right, it doesn't belong to your lawyers, to the state, to me, to yours, you've got to make that decision. Obviously, I encourage you to have a serious discussion about whether or not you would like to take a stand with the lawyers. They're in the best position to tell you what the dangers are of taking a stand and not taking the stand. Obviously, you get to take the stand, you do have the benefit of letting the jurors know what was in your mind at the time that this occurred. But you will be vigorous in cross-examining. And so you will not get to cherry pick what you want to say because the state may elicit information that you may not want to share with the jurors. On the other hand, you also have the right to remain silent, and then, like I told the yours up front, it is a state burden to prove you guilty, not your burden to, try to prove yourself innocent. But I want you to have those discussions with your lawyer. The lawyers between now and, I'm assuming, at the earliest would be Wednesday afternoon, at the latest, it probably be sometime on Thursday, that you will have to make a decision. We'll have the same conversation one more time. And then I will ask you the following questions. And you make a decision whether or not you want to testify. And, you make a decision freely, voluntarily, whether we promise you anything, or influence you in any way other than providing accepting legal advice from your attorneys. So I want you to have that kind of conversation with your lawyers, before we get to me having to ask those questions of you. Now, assuming that we do end up on Wednesday or early Thursday, that the state concludes their case, it's my goal to have closing argument done Thursday. So that you all need to prepare to give a closing argument on Thursday. It is my goal also not to have the jury deliberate on Thursday, but have them come in on Friday and deliberate so they can have a full day of deliberation without minimizing the risk of having to sequester them. So that is my plan. I'll probably start Friday morning, 8:30 in the morning with them, by charging them. So Thursday also we will have a charge conference, which means the state's provided a set of instructions. I didn't receive them today. I'll look at them tonight. Does he have a set?
Well, I haven't printed it out yet, but
Okay, I'll get an extra copy tomorrow. Did you put line numbers on your instructions?
I did not, Judge. I can try and do that.
I'll do that.
I don't know how you do that exactly.
I'll do that. It's not that hard. And then I'll shoot it back to everyone with the line numbers. It makes it easier to correct. And then we can go from there. Do you have any questions as far as the scheduling or?
no, no.
All right, any other issues that we should anticipate? I was caught off guard by the motion, motion to suppress on the statement. But any other issues like that I should follow up before?
Well, Your Honor, if the state can provide additional case law regarding that particular issue on the statement, would the court be inclined to entertain listening to it?
I'm not bashful about changing my mind.
Yes, sir.
However, let me just tell you a little bit of my reason.
Yes, sir.
The question elicited was a common defendant's rights from inside. The question is the last question that is asked when Miranda is read. So in other words, they skip all the first components of Miranda and just say, do you want to talk to a lawyer without telling you, hey, you do have the right from inside.
Yes, sir.
I understand what you're saying, that it's a spontaneous statements not related to the question. And if that's one question, you gave an answer that was completely unexpected. The answer would have been yes, I want to talk to your investigators or no. So the fact that they said, do you want to talk to a lawyer without reading them random, and using the last question as a stepping stone to get him to open his mouth, is really the reasoning behind my rule.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm kind of puzzled that the defense objected, because I thought in the whole presentation had been, in fact, he had the opportunity to unleash, tremendous amount of firepower upon the people who were approaching him, and he didn't. Which I think that statement would have corroborated the defendant's theory. Of course, there was another component of the statement that perhaps was an admission that he didn't want to do. So, at some point in time, I just anticipate this might come in somehow, but for now, that'll be my question.
Yes, sir.
And that should be telling you what's going on in my head.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but yes, I will listen, and review any information, and the distinguishing aspect of your case that you provided was, as the defense pointed out. In that case, Miranda was read upon.
Yes, sir.
And then the defendant made some statements unrelated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, spontaneous. All right, so with that, I think that concludes our day. We'll see you tomorrow, 8:30 again. And then we'll take up, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See you all.
Yeah.
So that was the end of today. So as I have mentioned, I said, I wonder if Ozone is gonna go up there and tell his side, tell what the fuck he wants to say, what he saw. Then again, he could just tell his attorneys what basically what he wants them to say if they question certain if they but I don't know. I mean, you know, of course they didn't tell him, hey, I need you to choose today if you're gonna speak. The judge just let him know you do have the right um to not say shit, or you can, you know. Um I know in some cases people say, well, if the person is innocent, why not just go up there? But when it has to do with it's not like he's just facing like a slap on the wrist or a couple years in jail to where he can go up there and try to get the jury to understand what happened. This is totally different. He's facing the death penalty, so I don't know. That's definitely something that is I mean, I'm sure they've already discussed this, him and the attorneys. I'm sure they probably have already said, look, this is how it's gonna go. You're not gonna get up on the stand, or if they I guarantee they before trial started they had their mind made up on what they're gonna do, you know. But tomorrow, the third day, for him to have brought that up, I'm curious if that's when they're gonna ask, are you gonna come up here and speak? It's gonna be crazy if he does, like, just because we don't know what the fuck, like people have said, including me, that we don't believe he had a gun because we didn't see one. We don't believe he shot the cop. Some people are like, well, the cop put his hands on him, which yes, he did do that. They did do that, and shouldn't have. And some was like, well, he had the right to defend himself if he did. Some were just going with that, like as if, boom, yeah. I mean, I've seen like Hassan Campbell. For those that don't know, he's somewhat of a YouTube celebrity, maybe even more than that. He has a lot of subscribers on YouTube, but celebrities like rap celebrities and shit, they know who he is. So he's known in that type of world, right? So when all this happened, well, not right when it happened, but because whenever it did happen, when we was trying to get help with donations, I had went over to Kwame Brown's show, and yeah, I tried to get some of his help. Now, I'm not sure uh, how much help he did. He told me he was like he said he would donate, but I will keep it real. Like, I don't know if it was maybe 100 or whatever. I don't know, but he has a lot of viewers and subscribers, so that's what I was trying to work on whenever I was trying to help Ozone raise money for his defense funds and shit. So I was trying all types of shit, but yeah, like back what I was saying about Hassan Campbell, he straight up said that like his video was titled "Cop Gets his snot box rocked." That's how, I mean, he's from Brooklyn or No, actually, I think he might be from Harlem. Just to say New York, but um, yeah, snot, your nose, your the box, your head, your snot box. So he calls it when someone gets killed, they get their snot box rocked. So that's what he was saying about that situation. That um, he was technically like taken up for Ozone, but at the same time, when people say, "Oh yeah, he shot that cop in self defense," how do you where do you get that from? Just because it was just them, because I say there was three people there. Just because if there was only two people there, that doesn't mean, because that's why they say they think that Ozone did it, because they're thinking there's no way the cop shot himself, so how else could he have got shot? So they're thinking, well, he's the only one, and on top of that, he did flee to a different state. They found him in a different state, so yeah, they're just thinking, yeah, that he did it or whatever. So uh regardless of you just trying to a person trying to put two and two together and be like, well, because I'm sure that there's people saying, well, if he didn't do it, why did he run? I know there's people that say, I've seen people say that, you know, but bro, I've been in a situation when I had to run from the police, and I was innocent. I ran from the police because I was not trying to get hurt, because and this was in 2020 at a protest, which I had that video up on my channel, but uh I'm just walking. I wasn't even saying Black Lives Matter, Black Power, nothing. I was walking around just doing this. My body language spoke for itself. I wasn't being violent, nothing like that. But for some reason, the cops kept coming up to me, and they would try to joint lock me and twist my arm behind my back, right? And that's a basic joint lock. So I knew how to get out of it, you know? So, um, but each time that they would come up to me, it would just be one cop by themselves. And the first one, he was maybe an inch or two taller than me. We probably weighed about the same. Uh, and yeah, he just kept talking shit. He was a motorcycle cop, and we're walking, and he has his motorcycle all close to me and shit. And he's like, "Y'all need to get out of the road." And I said, "What about our First Amendment?" I know, I understand that. This is for your safety. I said, I don't give a fuck about all that shit. We're grown. We know how to look, both ways when we cross the road. But when I said that, he got mad and spit the fuck off. Then he came back and said, I'm not going to tell you again. I said, I'm not going to tell you again that we have this right to do this, to protest. That's the last time I'm going to tell you that. And he said, okay. And he sped up a little bit, but he went up about 20, 30 feet, put his little kickstand down, turned his bike off, and then started walking toward us. I just keep walking, and he was like, I'm only gonna give you one more chance. Y'all, get off on it. And he thought, I guess I was the leader or some shit. I wasn't the leader. I didn't, make that happen. I just pulled up, So, uh, yeah, he came struck. When he was saying that, I just ignored him. I'm like, because I had already told him, since he wanted to get smart with me, he said, I'm gonna tell you one more time. I said, I'm gonna tell you one more time. We have the right to do this shit. So when he got out and started walking toward me, I'm just like, and he's like, said what he said. I didn't say shit. So he said, all right. And I thought he was gonna put me under arrest or try to. So he tried to twist my arm behind my back. Of course, there was a lot of elderly women and shit like that. They start saying, hey, let that baby go. Shit like that. and I got loose, and I said, "Don't touch me." I just put my arms up like this and kept walking. Didn't even look back. Kind of expected him to try to grab me again, but then I heard his bike rev up, so that's what made me look back, and he just turned it around and went the opposite way, speeding. And I said, "See, they know they're in the wrong, because if I was really doing something wrong, you would have arrested me." So yeah, um, just because a motherfucker flees, it could be just because they're afraid of getting hurt. You know, let me check out the chat. I seen a few things come in. Mama Red says definitely clear. He profiled. Oh, no legal reason to approach him. Nothing to disprove. That's exactly what happened to lead this horrific incident. Yeah. And like I said, from what I heard, from where Ozone is parked, where he was parked at, you can't see where he's parked from the road. So you have to purposely drive through the apartments, you know. So, um, I don't know. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy. That shit. I mean, the whole situation happened super fucking fast. Like the body cam footage that they said that is only out there is 29 seconds, when really it's longer than that, because it shows whenever the cop is on the ground doing all that. I'm not trying to be funny, like that's what he was doing, right? But within 30 seconds, all that shit happened. 30 seconds. He said, "Be real. Most would have ran, myself included." Um, yeah, because I mean, this was 2021 when that happened. Even though we've been hearing about cops abusing their power and shit like that, 2020 we got to see a lot of it. When George Floyd happened, I thought, okay, finally, now that it has made like national attention and the cops are actually facing charges and shit. Well, it wasn't at first, but when they finally was, I was like, damn, the cops around the country are gonna see this, and they might actually stop fucking up for a little bit. They might be like, look, we can't be doing what we used to. There's a lot of heat on us right now. That's literally how I thought, you know. So I started sharing the fuck out of my video. I literally was trying to make it go viral for real, because I'm like, hell no, like I didn't want them to get away with what they got away with, because they didn't just do what they did to me. This dude that asked why the fuck y'all arrested him and tasing him and shit, he didn't even do shit. Just because he said that, the cops grabbed his ass, picked him up, and slammed him, and then put all types of knees on him and shit, like 6 or 7 of them, holding him down and shit. I remember I was in the cop car, like thinking, I'm thinking like, damn, another person getting arrested. What the fuck, So I'm like, I normally have my phone in my back pocket, so since my hands are tied, well, not tied, but cuffed behind my back, I'm like trying to get my phone out, because I'm like, I'm about to go live, and I'm like, my phone fell out when I got tased and hit the ground. My phone fell out, which is bullshit. But yeah, I was about to go live in the squad car or whatever, and then it was like right when I'm like trying to feel for it. That's when all the pain and shit kicked in. Because at first, but I guess the tase and the shock kind of like numbed me for a second, because it was like boom out of nowhere. I'm like, oh fuck, my motherfucking elbow, and then I don't know. I did something in my arm, my left arm, kind of bumped something. And I said, so I look over and like literally all of this right here was just like someone took a big potato peeler and just peeled off the top layer of my skin. It was nasty, bro. It was hard to sleep at night. Oh, but yeah, it was good, Robbie. It was good. He said they forget that the climate in the community at the time was on high alert from police brutality. You had police shooting on armed motorists. The officer put his hands on them and didn't convey what. Yeah, exactly. See, I didn't even read that. And I pretty much said something very similar to that. Yeah, 2020, all that shit happened. You know, like I said, I thought shit was gonna die down because they knew that now the cops are being watched. People are pissed off. So I thought certain cops was gonna be like, all right, we gotta settle the fuck down, or we're gonna end up in jail, or they're gonna lose their job or whatever. But no, that didn't make them slow down at all. It made them like get worse. Like for real. And if they want to blame that on, like, well, we got worse because we had targets on our back every day, people was threatening our lives and all that. How the fuck you think we feel? We've been going through that shit, and that's why we run and act the way that we fucking do around cops to say we don't like them, because every time we go around them, bullshit happens. Just because a lot of us may not get shot at or shot by the police, getting a gun pointed at you is damn near the same thing almost, because it could accidentally shoot you, um, you know. So, and I've had guns drawn on me by cops in front of my daughter. Whenever she was real little, like super little, to where she don't remember, and when she was old enough to remember, you know. And yeah, that feeling right there is just some straight bull, especially when you didn't do nothing wrong, you know. I'm talking about, I got pulled over one day and it was like, you ever been to jail? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, for what? And I said, fighting. And he does this, looks around, and I'm thinking, the way he did it, I'm like, what the fuck? It was a dark ass road. The reason I got pulled over was because I had my brights on, right? It was a dark ass road. There was no street lights. So, yeah, I'm gonna have my brights on. So it was like this hill. So since there was like this hill, whenever I'm coming this way, I don't see a car because that hill blocks what's on the other side of the hill. So basically, once they come up over to come across the hill, boom, that's when I see them. So I'm like, okay, I literally flicked my brights off as soon as I seen them in view, because even though they had their brights on too, which is crazy. So boom, I click them off. Soon as I click them off, they light me up. The fuck, it was a cop that was passing me this way, right? But as soon as I turn my brights off, to be nice, not to blind his bitch ass, he lights me up. And then, and what I mean by light me up, he turned his lights on in front of me, and then kind of like literally turned to like let me know, hey, I'm stopping you. And then he kind of like with his little speakerphone was like, pull over to the side. I'm about to pull to the or behind you. So I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, whenever he did that, and then get the fuck out the car. Whoa, what the fuck? My daughter is literally, she's sitting behind the passenger seat, right? So if I get shot, that shit could, I mean, the angle that he's aiming it at me, if he starts shooting, she could have got hit. That's just all I was thinking of. I'm like, look, what the fuck, bro? This is crazy. I said, I'm not opening the door. I said, you open the door, you know? And he just kept telling me, get the fuck out the car and shit. And I'm like, I really don't even feel comfortable unbuckling. So I had my wife do it. I'm like, you unbuckle me for real. You know, that this shit is just stupid. And they wonder why we run. And then when we run, I don't know, they just want to make shit worse. And that's why if you run, get gone. Like, don't get caught, because they're all mad now that they're they're tired because you're faster than them, and you made them work a little bit harder. So now when they now their pride is hurt. So when they catch up to you, they want to hurt you. That doesn't give them, just because you run doesn't give them a fucking a right to hurt you. You don't say in the laws, if they flee, if they run, beat the brakes off of them. Even say if he was like running, and they just kept chasing you and chasing you, you got tired, and you was like, all right, fuck it, I can't go no more. And you was just like, all right, I'm done. You can get on your knees and put your hands up, like, all right, I'm done. Instead of them coming up and just grabbing your hands, they're gonna run and football tackle your ass, and then do some extra shit, all because they think that they have the right to do that shit. Um. So, I see today not as much money was raised for on ozone.org. Not much money was raised today as yesterday, but $91,863.15 is how much is raised. I know someone's probably like, "Oh no, it's 95,000." No, it's not. That's how much total, yeah. But with the fees taken out, it's not 95,000. It's 91,000, almost 92. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucked up. And, I'll be seeing videos where, like, I mean, because if a cop ain't in their uniform, they look like a normal regular citizen. I've seen so many videos where cops pull over cops, but they may work different shifts or something. It may not, or one may be new or something, and they try to get that treatment, like, hey, I actually, we work for this same city. I'm a cop too, or some shit, right? They could say some shit like that. So, some of them think that they're. I remember this one guy was speeding, and I guess he thought he was gonna get away, and he's like, "Nope, you're still getting a ticket." But sometimes they, especially if they're black and they get pulled over, if they don't automatically tell them from the jump that they're a cop, they get to, if they haven't already been through it, yeah, they get to see, yep, they get to see that bullshit. To like, bruh, you know. So yeah, shit. I don't know if that shit will ever change. But what I do know is, you know, a lot of people. I can't stand it when people want to say, "Oh, why are you always bringing race into it?" Or um, racism ain't as bad as it used to be. Okay, that's your opinion. But what I know is it's getting worse. It's like going back to the old times. It's 2023. Next year is when we vote for a new president, even though they don't start until the beginning of 2025. This is when people are doing are the people that are running are putting their commercials and shit out, going to rallies and all that. There's a fucking reason why right now these racist Nazis are doing what they're doing in Florida. They're wanting DeSantis to win and shit like that. But yeah, they're going to Disney World and like just saying all types of racist ass shit, right? And um yeah, that there's a reason. Think back to 2020, you know, when NFAC came out and it was like they told the KKK and everybody to meet them and all that, and I remember that one group had came out, but it really wasn't. It was nowhere near as many NFAC members as the racist motherfuckers that came out. But I believe right now they're trying to start something. Like they're trying to pop out and be like, "Yep, this is what we're doing." And I believe eventually all that protest shit that happened is gonna happen again. But this time it's gonna be even crazier. Even crazier. The counter protesting and shit. But see, the last in 2020 when we had counter protests, it was kind of political. You know, yeah, it has to do with race too. Like, people want to say white lives matter, black lives matter, and shit. But like the 3%ers and shit, people will say that they're racist and all that, and they was basically trying to block and guard the cops, protect the cops. You know, but these racist Nazis, I feel like they're gonna try to do something to provoke people, calling them the N word. Like, I mean, not even just black people. They're talking about Jews, gay people. Uh, it's like they're trying to be the biggest trolls out there, you know. And yeah, there's a shit ton of people that is not gonna allow a racist motherfucker to sit there and spew racism out their fucking mouth. Doesn't matter if, yeah, freedom of speech or whatever, it doesn't matter, you know. But if y'all haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. Um so tomorrow, I'm trying to think. No. Actually, I won't be able to. I could probably still go live. It'll be a little later. I actually got. I'm gonna be busy. Uh, for sure in the morning, throughout the afternoon. So I'm not sure what time I'll be on. Um, I don't know. I might try something. I might try something different because, like I told y'all, I know somebody that is at that's in Florida that's been in the courtroom. So I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe if this person is down, maybe I can do a different type of situation. Because yes, there's a lot of people that's actually covering this trial that some of y'all probably know of. So y'all, everybody, and y'all don't even have to watch them. Y'all can literally, if people can find it literally anywhere. Just type in the trial. But I don't know. I think well, I've been thinking about this for a while, but I think I'm wanting to have one of the people that's there that I know basically come on and tell us what they have seen and what, just talk about it. I think that might be something cool to do. Um shout out to Crystal Muhammad. She's actually working on some stuff. She's you know, like trying to bring people together, people that are at odds, but she's trying to do it. Like for example, she hit me up, and she knows I have certain issues with certain people, and you know, she's wondering if we can squash it for the better good to help, for this ozone situation. And I'm like, I've always been down for that. I've tried it, you know, and it seems like with the two of the people that I'm thinking of, I've tried, and what they do, they want to just shit on it, get disrespectful behind my back. But what I did say, and honestly, if it does happen, y'all probably will be surprised. But like I'll keep it real. Like for example, like no, honestly, I'm not even gonna speak on who I'm talking about, because I did say, look, if they're willing to put shit to the side for, I'll do it. But if we was to do a panel, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't think I would conversate with them directly. Like I'll be on there and I may speak, but I'm not just gonna just say what's up to these specific people or anything like that. But yeah, I'm willing to, come together and make some shit happen so that we can help ozone. You know, the more numbers, the better. Meaning, the more people that link together. Because, bro, like I said, when we was all linked together and cool, we raised over $10,000 in one day. That still has not been done. Which, yeah, that's a lot of money for one day. But I believe we could have done that a lot. Think about it. There's people that get paid once a month, every 2 weeks, so twice a month, every week, 4 times a month, or maybe 5 times a month, depending on the month. Some people get paid every week. Some people get paid every day. It just depends on what you do. So the way, because this was back when we was doing fundraisers, I was like, because we was doing when we did the 24-hour fundraiser, it was like we was only doing them, or they was talking about only doing them here and there. And I'm like, yo, we could literally do a fundraiser every fucking week, because the thing is, like I just said, every day or every week, somebody that's watching is going to get paid. Doesn't matter if it's a couple people, but if you know what I'm saying, if somebody gets paid today, right? Today's the 12th. But say we don't go if we don't do the fundraiser until September 30th. Well, now they just don't had 2 weeks to sit there and spend their money. Some people burn a hole through their pocket, can't save. So yeah, if boom, you was to do a fundraiser right around the time they got paid, some people would be like, oh yeah, I got it. So yeah, I'll donate it or whatever. But some people can't be like, oh well, let me put that to the side so whenever they do the fundraiser, I can send it. You know, that's just how I was looking at it because yeah, it's just like how I was thinking on how to get money, and it wasn't about trying to play people or use people. It was just thinking, no, like think about it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I've spoke on this before, but yeah, but y'all, I think I'm about to get up off here. Like I said, uh, like it up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't subscribed, you definitely gotta do that. You definitely gotta do that. You know. Um and also um for when you go to my when you're watching my show and shit, right under Boss Talks podcast, it has join in blue. The word join is in blue. Click it. If you want to become part of the Boss Talk family, well, we really call it the Boss Fam, the Boss Family, you know, and yeah, you'll officially become um hold up, let me see. Uh no, it didn't work. I'm the one that came up with the fucking shit, but I forgot it. So, all right. So when you become a member, if y'all look, everyone that's on here, if y'all look in the comments, for example, Mama Red, she's a member. Right beside the blue wrench, y'all maybe look when y'all just look at it, y'all might glance and be like, that looks. I don't know what that is. Or, you know, if you look real close, if you know what it is, you know what it is. It's a RIP bullet or a RIP bullet, whatever you want to call it, right? Well, really, it ain't even the full bullet. It's just it's the bullet. It's the top, right? The top part. And when you become a member, yeah, that's kind of basically just like a they call it loyalty badges, right? And I have a few of them. I just came up with a few of them just to add on there, and I probably will add a few more on there. Um, and then of course, like emojis, like I gotta go back and look at the word that you gotta type. But say if someone said boss, because I thought that's what the word was that you had to put, but you can basically on your it's emoji. So say if somebody puts boss, if that was the word I picked, it would show whatever emoji it was for that word. I can basically add different emojis on there, right? so that anytime somebody specifically just says that word, right, it'll put that emoji in the comments. It's pretty cool. Just basically something that um like the members or whatever, or even if all the people that have a wrench, if they was to become a member or whatever, we could come up with our own little inside joke or whatever. And when we put that, only us know what we're talking about. When we put that specific emoji, just something fun. Um, I'm gonna try starting to add some extra shit to the show to make it a little more fun. We can have fun up on this bitch, but something that I do on a regular, whether it's a game or I don't know. I mean, if I did something like I want to do something that is unique, like that no one has done or does, or then again, I may even add something that is fun and popular to do. I don't know. I just because I know I just come on here and chop it up. Might have someone come on, but I don't really be doing no extra shit. But I'm all about engaging with y'all and having fun and shit like that. So that's definitely an idea. Um and yeah. If y'all ever need to get a hold of me, want to chop it up or anything, Boss Talks Podcast 777 at gmail.com. Super, super easy. Just think of and talks, it doesn't have an apostrophe, it's just TALKS. So Boss Talks Podcast 777 at gmail.com. It's super easy. Just think of Boss Talks Podcast with 3 sevens at the end at gmail.com. And you can email me. There's a lot of people, y'all, that's how I start off communication with a lot of people is email. And then, I'm a good judge of character, and also if I can tell whether or not I can trust you on whatever it is that if I want you to have my number, I'll give it to you. And for those that I've only emailed, don't think that I only email you because I don't trust you. Most of the time, it's probably because we don't really communicate that much. So there's been a few people that have emailed me, but it's just been a few emails. But if it gets to where we're chopping it up all the time, and I feel like I can trust you, like say if someone has came on here and click the link, and I've seen who they are, we've chopped it up. That's a start right there of them trusting me to know who they are and y'all. And you never know. You might get my number. You might just either way. That's the best. That's the best way for anybody to get a hold of me is email. And we'll go from there. We chop it up through there. But best believe I know whenever it's a hater or some fuck shit going on with, because trust me, I've been through it enough where people have emailed me and they don't have good intentions. They're trolls. I just trust me. I know when it's some bullshit. You could try to fake the funk and do all this other shit, right? You could try, but and don't think that you can just try to make a like say even a face or YouTube or Facebook, whatever. Don't think that you can just go get some model, a random picture of a chick that you think that I'm gonna think is pretty or whatever, and then put them as the icon, and then think that, oh, I'm about to be like, oh shit, who is that? I'm not no thirsty ass motherfucker, and I'm not no simp. I'm not no trick. So those tricks don't work on me. Thinking, oh, let's make this fake page and act like that, you're some chick that you think that I'm gonna get all excited about. You got shit twisted, because that's happened too. And I just sit there and like, don't even reply. I don't even reply. I'm like, yeah, you know, I know if it's real or not, you know. And even if it was real, if it's a chick that, um, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna figure out if it's genuine or not. That's really what I'm trying to say. But y'all have a good rest of the day. Uh, it's crazy. The day is pretty much almost over. So yeah, y'all go enjoy the rest of it. I'm gonna try to figure out some extra shit to do. Um, you know, kids is out of school, so I don't know. I might take them fishing or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. You know. But yeah, I love y'all. You too, Mama Red. Take care. I'll see y'all soon. Um, yeah, y'all for real. Y'all, the ones that don't know how to get a hold of me, y'all fucking get a hold of me in the email for real. I might not check my email like I check my text, but trust me, I will get back to you like within a day, maybe 2 days at the most. But for real, like, holla at me, you know. And if you see me do this, it's not no gang shit. Cause at the end I'll be like, that's Memphis. I know a lot of people you don't know unless you know. That's West Coast, right? That's what they throw up like in California and shit. West Coast, you know. Um, but yeah, that's what Memphis does. It's, you know, like J Man would say, man, you do your homework. Your shit hit different. Shit hit different.